Thank you. So with the title, The Benefits of a Toastmaster Membership Are Profound, please welcome John Sorry.
Now, all of us have joined Toastmasters to improve our public speaking. It is the underlying reason why we continue to renew our memberships each year, to communicate effectively in front of a live audience. And we're all on that journey together. Some are experienced, and some are gaining experience. But I want you all to cast your minds way back to your very first Toastmasters meeting. When you walked through those doors there to the rear of the room, were you apprehensive? Weren't you not sure what you were getting yourself into? I was. But as always, where is she? Rebecca. There she is. There. Rebecca's always there, or somebody like Rebecca anyway, Vice President of Memberships, to welcome you in, introduce you to a fellow member who you sit next to, and are you feeling comfortable, as our current guests are feeling now. Meeting begins, we get introduced, and now you're thinking, it's not so bad. I might even fit in with such a crowd. But let me tell you all, it's going to get better when table topics begin. Because you're going to see grown men and women squirm and pull funny faces at the very mention of their own name being called up. And what gets said, nobody really knows, but it makes sense anyway. I remember the time when I got called up. And I'll tell you something, it's hilarious at the time and it's entertaining until they call your name. At that very moment, what do you say? Your face might turn wide, your heart might stop beating. But anyway, it's that moment. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests, if you get through that moment, your very first question of table topics, and you keep your dignity intact, then you're well on the way to reaping the benefits of a Toastmaster membership. Meeting twice a month, every month, we get up here in this position and deliver our speeches. And we wait for the opportunity to use our public speaking skills outside of this environment. Well, mine came just recently when I received a traffic infringement notice for failing to stop at a stop sign at a T intersection. And I've got to be truthful with you all. Before Toastmasters, I would have just paid the fine and just got on with life. There are more important things to do or to worry about. But this time it was different. I had fight in me. I had the self-confidence, I had the belief, all gained through Toastmasters, and I had the vocabulary skill set to defend myself. So what did I do? I ticked the court option. I don't know if it was the right decision. And so, I gathered evidence, I wrote my testimony, I wore my best suit and tie, and off I went to Hornsby Local Court. I found the clerk, got my name ticked off, entered courtroom 1, found a seat, and I was ready. Ready and waiting. The judge came in. He was a tall, slender man, middle-aged. To his left was the court reporter. And to their front was the legal clerk, who I saw earlier on. And in front of all three of those people was a long mahogany desk filled with solicitors, ready to represent their clients. At the door was a bailiff, and everybody else, well, they were my friend, because we were all defendants. We were all in it together. The first 3 cases get called up, all drink driving offences, all represented by solicitors. And as quickly as they came up, they were all found guilty. They had suspended licences and fines of 1,000, 500 and 1,000 respectively, if I remember correctly. What have I got myself into? I'm in a lot of trouble here. I'm going to get smashed. The clerk stands up. Next case is me. What am I going to do? Reluctantly, I walk up to the mahogany desk beside the solicitors. There was a tall microphone, so I could stand and deliver my testimony. Your Honour, on the day of the offence, my wife and I just dropped off our daughter at Macquarie University. It was school holidays for a science camp, and we were on our way home. We were travelling east on Mowbray Road. and we came to a stop on the corner of Pacific Highway and Mowbray. When the lights turned green, there would have been 10, 12, maybe 15 vehicles, all turning right at the next intersection, which happened to be Hampton Road. It was a T intersection. And the other thing about it, there was a stop sign there. Anyway, I was somewhere in the middle of that vehicle procession. Once I made the turn, there was a policeman in his police car. Does a U-turn, pulls me over. He picked me for some reason. Wrote out a ticket. Your Honour, it is a sad day, not just for me, but for any motorist to be found guilty for such a minor offence. My understanding is that T intersections operate under a giveaway basis. There are giveaway signs, or no signage at all. If there's oncoming traffic, we give way, we don't stop. And if there's no traffic, we make the turn, safely and slowly. At that point in time, the judge had heard enough. He was ready to deliver his verdict. I'll summarise his key points. He stated that he had viewed the official police video, and he agreed with me. Yes, the intersection was, quote, unique. He also stated that I had made that turn at 15 kilometres per hour. And in delivering his decision, he took my driving record into account, which was pretty good. He dismissed the case.
Oh, good.
Wow! Saved myself $330, no court costs. I still lost 3 demerit points though.
Oh.
But I was cheering. Wow! How did this happen? I couldn't work it out at the time. But when I did, it all stems back to Toastmasters. And there's a famous saying that I'm sure all of us will know here, that the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, I'll tell you what, the well-spoken speech of a Toastmaster trumps them all in that very moment. Thank you.
Great.